In 2020, making $100,000 a year felt rich. In 2026, it feels normal, comfortable, but also strangely stressful. Because today, even people with good salaries feel one emergency away from financial disaster. A car repair, a medical bill, a rent increase, one bad month, and suddenly the bank account starts collapsing. And this isn't happening only to low-income Americans anymore. Right now, 52% of people earning over $100,000 a year say they're living paycheck to paycheck. Think about that. People are earning more money than ever before, yet somehow everyone feels broke. So where is all the money going? And why does surviving in America suddenly feel so expensive? This is the hidden financial crisis nobody prepared people for. On paper, America looks wealthier than ever. The average salary in 2026 is around $63,500, a record high. But there's one problem. That money buys less life than it did a few years ago. People aren't struggling because salaries disappeared. They're struggling because the cost of survival exploded faster than income. And most Americans didn't fully notice it happening because it happened slowly. A little increase here, a slightly higher bill there, more expensive groceries, higher insurance, higher rent, higher interest rates, until suddenly, people woke up making good money while still feeling financially trapped. That's why 74% of Americans now say money is their number one source of stress. More than health, more than relationships, more than work itself, because modern financial pressure never turns off, even when you're sleeping. A few years ago, middle-class life felt achievable. Today, basic survival feels expensive. Let's start with groceries. Since 2020, grocery prices have risen over 32%. The average family of four now spends around $1,350 every month just on food. Not luxury food, basic food. Eggs, milk, chicken, bread. The things people need just to live. And the scary part? Most salaries did not increase 32%. Then there's rent. In 2020, the national average rent was around $1,450 a month. Today, it's around $2,200. That's nearly $9,000 extra per year just to stay in the same apartment. Think about how insane that is. People didn't suddenly upgrade to luxury lifestyles. The floor itself became expensive. Then add health insurance, gas, electricity, internet, subscriptions, taxes, car payments. Every category quietly climbed higher. And individually, each increase feels manageable, but together, they slowly suffocate people financially. Here's the biggest misunderstanding about modern money. Most Americans are not broke because they're irresponsible. They're broke because the definition of middle class changed, quietly. In 2020, a family earning $60,000 could live a decent middle-class life in many places. In 2026, to maintain that same lifestyle, you now need around $82,000. Not because people became greedy, because everything became more expensive. Gasoline went from around $2.40 to nearly $4 per gallon. The average used car jumped from $20,000 to almost $30,000. Health insurance premiums exploded higher. Housing costs became almost unbearable. So even when people receive raises, it doesn't feel like progress, because inflation eats the raise before people even notice it. That's why so many Americans feel stuck, working harder, earning more, but somehow moving nowhere financially. For decades, buying a home was considered the foundation of the American dream. Now, for millions of people, it feels impossible. Mortgage rates are hovering near 7%, home prices remain near all-time highs, and housing affordability is now at a 40-year low. Only 18% of renters can currently afford to buy a median-priced home. Just 18%. Think about what that means psychologically. People are doing everything society told them to do. Go to school, get a job, work hard, earn more money. But even after doing all of that, home ownership keeps moving further away. And when people lose belief in upward mobility, financial anxiety explodes. Because humans can survive hard work, but they struggle to survive hopelessness. Modern America runs on debt, credit cards, car loans, student loans, buy now, pay later. Monthly payments became normal life. Right now, U.S. credit card debt has surpassed $1.35 trillion, and average credit card interest rates are around 23%. That is devastating, because debt creates invisible poverty. For example, if someone carries a $6,000 balance on a credit card, they may pay over $115 every month in pure interest alone, not paying off the debt, just paying the punishment for carrying it. And millions of Americans are trapped in this cycle, because when survival becomes expensive, people borrow money just to maintain normal life. Not luxury, normal life. That's the dangerous part. Millennials and Gen Z are experiencing a completely different economy than previous generations, and many older Americans still don't fully understand it. At the same age, boomers controlled around 21% of U.S. wealth. Millennials today, only around 9%. That gap is enormous. Then there's student debt. Millions of young workers lose 10 to 15% of their monthly income just paying student loan interest. Not building wealth, not investing, not saving for a house, just trying to stay above water. And eventually, many young people psychologically give up on long-term goals. This is where doom spending begins. Almost half of Gen Z and millennials admit they spend money on small luxuries because they feel major goals like home ownership are already out of reach. And honestly, that mindset is understandable, because when the future feels impossible, people stop sacrificing for it. The real problem isn't only inflation, it's uncertainty. People no longer feel financially safe. Even high earners feel fragile. One layoff, one recession, one health emergency, one major repair, and years of progress can disappear instantly. That constant pressure changes people emotionally. It creates anxiety, burnout, exhaustion. People aren't only working for a better future anymore. Many are working just to avoid falling behind. And that creates a feeling millions of Americans now share. I make good money, so why does life still feel stressful? Because the economy changed faster than most people's understanding of money. But here's the important part. Understanding this reality early matters, because once people realize the system changed, they stop playing the old game blindly. The people who survive financially in the next decade will likely be the people who control lifestyle inflation, invest consistently, avoid toxic debt, build multiple income streams, learn financial psychology, and stop measuring wealth by appearances. Because real wealth today is no longer looking rich. It's feeling financially calm. That's the new luxury. And maybe the biggest lie Americans were ever sold was the idea that a high salary automatically creates freedom. Because in today's economy, income alone is not enough anymore. Financial awareness matters more than ever. And the people who adapt early are the ones most likely to escape the trap. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to Money Hack 60, because understanding money today is becoming just as important as earning it.